On the agenda is the Highway 191 widening discussion. So Councilman Harlan's going to take the lead on this.
Is that better? No. Is that having heard from quite a few of the residents, both along 191, okay.
Get a little closer, please, I can't hear you.
Is that better? Right.
Thank you.
Having heard from several residents along 191, having heard from the business owners along 191, having heard from Mr. Foster representing River Oaks, and also the lady in the back, I forgot her name, from Mills River Village, is that what I would like to propose after attending the DOT meeting is that I would like to propose from Schoolhouse Road to the 280 intersection, a 3-lane with a center unobstructed turning lane. Also in that, coming from Brevard, turning right on 280 going back towards Hendersonville, I think that they have a 2-lane. I'd like to narrow that down to a 1-lane, but coming from Ingalls to turn left on 191 going towards Hendersonville, I'd like to see that 2 lanes. Because my wife and I, we got wadded up in traffic on the single turning lane coming towards Town Hall. So I'll open the floor up for agreement, discussion, whatever.
I want us to look at Mills River. My ancestors settled this area, and I've been here all my 75 years. We're not an island. I think we gotta look forward past my lifetime and all this. Growth is gonna continue to happen with what's on the books right now, potential. This road here is going to be more and more used. There will be more and more noise. If it's a 2-lane or whatever, like Bill River Village people said, you're gonna hear a lot of noise slow. If we can move the traffic along better, I think it would back that off some. Therefore, I don't think, from my perspective, being here and looking at the overall, and that we also egress through this area. We also like to drive to other areas where we have these nice highways. And I don't want us to be one that says we're a no-do person. If we'd wanted this stopped years ago when I was a boy, a lot of the hillsides right now that I used to plow and work with the farmers are gone, and we welcome y'all here. So, that being said, I think we've got to stay very close to what DOT has recognized. I would like to see the center turn lane. I know they say that's unsafe, and they said there were 7 deaths, but those deaths have basically been at intersections, which were botched when that was built. We've got to respect these guys to some circumstances. They're not necessarily true and everything, but they do try to do a decent job. We're paying them. They work for me and you and everybody. And they're looking at long-term for our area, for schools out here, and what else is coming in here. So I'm pretty well in favor of staying like it is by their design. I would like to see the center turning lane. If that can't happen, I would like to see the dirt road beside us here have an access, and maybe the town egress in and out off of that road instead off the front. But I would have to stand by that pretty good. let's look past my lifetime and all of our lifetime. We've got to look at, this road was upgraded in, I believe it's 1955. I believe I'm correct on that. And we thought it was something super, and it did help going into town. It used to be bad. And with the school, we just need some improvement. And I don't think a two-lane is widened two-lane like over there in the Fletcher area through there. I've been on that road too a lot. That's not what will help. We've got a lot more traffic here. And that's my take on it.
I would like to ask Bert Linkless to give the agriculture community's perspective on what they think needs to happen with this farm equipment and the tractor.
My name is Bert Lunkers. I'm the chairman of the Mills River Ag Advisory Committee. We have met with DOT a week and a half ago and conveyed our concerns for several reasons. First of all, we would prefer to have a 3-lane with a center turning lane from the intersection with 280 up to Grandview Lane. If that's not possible, then at least a 4-lane with an unobstructed center turning lane that's from the intersection with 280 up to Schoolhouse Road. And if that's not possible, at least have full access from Hooper Lane onto 191 both ways. That's really within the town limits of Mills River. There's some other concerns across the bridge of the French Broad. But that's pretty much short summary of what the ag community wants. We're concerned about the access of Hooper Lane specifically with the farming operations that are in that part of the valley, and tractor trailers having to make the turn going into Hooper Lane, coming out of Hooper Lane would just be a disaster.
That's fine.
Thank you.
I guess my perspective is everybody in here knows we've got a bottleneck from 280 to Vanna Farm Road. This is going to have to be addressed. Maybe a 3-lane with a turn lane might work, but if we go with the 4-lane from 280 as presented by the DOT, these landowners in that section are gonna get beat to death, because they can't get access to their property. So, but from Vanna Farm Road through the town of Mills River, I think we can live with the 3-lane with the turn lane.
The other argument that we asked actually some information from the Mills River Fire Department concerning the number of accidents that took place on the intersection of 191 and 280 between 191 from the double bridges to the 280, and also from the intersection between 280 and 191 to Jeffers Road, from the intersection of Jeffers Road to the French Broad River. And the interesting part was that on all these sections, the highest number of accidents, motor vehicle accidents, were from the intersection with 280, on 280 from Jeffers Road to the French Broad River. That was 92 accidents. from the intersection 280, 191 to Jeffers Road 56, from 280 intersection of 191 to Ray Hill Road was 57, and from 191 to the intersection with 280 to the double bridges over the French Broad was 54. So the real issue is that on the piece from Jeffers Road to the French Broad River going to the Asheville Airport, with the divided highway, had the highest number of accidents.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking to the accident rate, the DOT, I sit on the TAC and I also sit on the French Broad River MPO, and so they throw statistics at us for hours, each of these meetings. And so the DOT says that on this stretch of 191 that we're talking about, there are 257 car accidents per million miles. The average for a roadway like this is 197 accidents per million miles. So there are more accidents on this roadway, but I guarantee you from what I've seen, I drive this road 4 times a day, they are all rear end collisions. It's kids texting and they run into the car in front of them. I don't know that a 4-lane road is going to solve that problem. DOT also predicts that, well, they've taken measurements, and right now there are 12,400 vehicles per day traveling this roadway. They estimate that in 2040, there will be 25,000 vehicles per day traveling the roadway, which lends one to think, well, maybe we need a 4-lane road. I'm not necessarily sure that that's the case. I'm sure that this takes into account a lot of the Balfour Parkway traffic, which will be coming through 191, obviously.
Unrelated.
I do agree with what Councilman Meadows said a moment ago about creativity and looking towards the future and how we have to take all of that into account. And Steve Jobs very famously said that creativity is the act of creating and connecting things. I believe that the DOT people have done a good job and a good faith effort. We can see that they've taken into account the needs of the citizens of Mills River. That said, I want to just run through the advantages and the disadvantages that we currently have with this roadway right now. The first advantage that we have is this road already exists. We will be repaving a road. We're not creating a brand new road. And I understand some of the Balfour Parkway arguments for coming and creating a new exchange on I-26 and coming across Butler Bridge and through some of the farms and actually right across the top of Supersod, which I disagree with very strongly. I think that would be a disaster for Mills River. This road already exists. We're simply talking about repaving. The road needs improvement. It's a very narrow road. If you travel this road often, there's lots of cars braking in front of you and there's not much room to maneuver. And there's a better design, as we can see on this map, for the intersections of NC 280, for Banner Farm Road, and also for Schoolhouse Road. They're going to square that intersection up. Now, the disadvantages of this roadway, as it's shown on the map here, it obviously has a huge footprint. I don't know about you, but knocking people's homes down is not on my bucket list.
Amen.
So there's a loss of homes and businesses. The 3 homes and 3 businesses will be affected. There is no continuity with our concept for the multi-use path on NC 280. We had that discussion at the public input session. All 5 of us were there. We all discussed this, and it's something that's important to us, that we have a very cohesive community that makes sense to us. And so the bike lanes that are designed here, we feel like a multi-use path would be a much better option for us. Ultimately, this roadway does not fit our vision for Mills River, and so I am inclined to agree wholeheartedly with Councilman Snyder and Councilman Rowley. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Banner Farm Road intersection is going to be improved regardless, right?
Yes, that's correct. It's a separate project, albeit unfortunately it keeps getting pushed back, but I have not heard the latest update of its pushback from its August let date.
So that's already gonna take care of itself, that part.
Having heard from all the council members, would you entertain a motion? I would like to make a motion that the town, with the mayor signing it, that we support a 3-lane with an unobstructed turning lane from at least Schoolhouse Road to Highway 280. And I understand or the ag committee's thing, going on to Grandview Lane. I think that's a county thing,
Yeah.
so with the Schoolhouse Road 191 intersection, from that point to 280, having a 3-lane unobstructed turning lane. And from what I've found out is that a lot of the residents, a lot of the businesses support that. So I'll make that in my motion.
Okay, so the motion is that the town support a 3-lane highway with an unobstructed turn lane median, no median, from 280, 191 to Schoolhouse Road.
Yes, please.
Is there a second?
So what are you doing from Banner Farms to the rest of the town?
Right.
From Banner Farm towards 280 or Banner Farm back this way?
No, you just said that you support a 3-lane from 280 to Banner Farms, did you not?
No.
Yes, you did.
That's
what you said. Let me rephrase my motion. I support, I make a motion that this council support by resolution a 3-lane unobstructed turning lane from Schoolhouse Road to Highway 280. That clear that way?
And Roger, what about the multi-use path? Do you want to address it? I think that we should ask for that as well. I spoke to Steve Williams at the last MTO meeting. And he indicated that it was in the plan at one point and would be very easy to add back in. So I think this is a good time for us to do that.
So can you amend your motion to add that?
We need to have a little discussion on that multi-use plan. Jeff tells me that when you put that in the plans, then it's on the town of Elzeville will pay for it, 80%. Am I right? Correct, Jeff?
20%.
20%.
Yes.
But we have to keep it up.
It will be up to us to maintain it. Yes, that is correct. Just like the section that would go on NC 280.
I'm still in favor of the multi-use plan. I'm not in favor of the bike lane.
Right. I'm not either.
So what the DOT would do is they would estimate the cost to construct the multi-use path, and then they would ask the town to share in that 20%.
What are you proposing from Schoolhouse Road? From Banner Farm Road on down to Schoolhouse Road? You haven't mentioned that part.
Yes, 3 lanes.
3 lanes all the way to there.
Yes.
You were saying the top at Banner Farm.
No.
That's what he said. You're talking about 3 lanes the whole distance. Is that what you're proposing?
I may not have expressed this clearly in,
My question hadn't been answered and I was looking from you. Let's stay over here.
Let me restate my motion. Is that what I propose is a 3-lane unobstructed turning lane from Schoolhouse Road to Highway 280. Now, based on what Brian has said, if you don't care, is that I will insert in my motion that we ask DOT to look at constructing a multi-use path. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, is that what I'm thinking, based on conversations that I had with the DOT people, is that there may be some money that will fund, maybe Wayne, that will fund the multi-use path from Town Hall entrance to the 280 intersection that will connect with what we have previously approved. Is that fine? Okay, fine. Bert, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What I would just like to reiterate, and maybe I didn't make that clear enough, from the intersection with 280 to Banner Farm, because of the industries that are on Banner Farm Road, there is definitely support for a 4-lane for that short section. So the access to and from Banner Farm Road is less of a problem than it is right now. From Banner Farm to Grandview, we definitely would propose a 3-lane with a free center turning lane. But that first section from 280 to Banner Farm, a 4-lane.
And I agree with that. I don't think a 3-lane I don't think a 3-lane gonna handle it from 280 to Banner Farm. I mean, it's backed up to Davenport Bridge now.
So if we leave it the way they've drawn it and then take her to a 3-lane from Banner Farm, does that work?
As long, excuse me, is that, as long as that, from what I understand, is that DOT is going to redo the intersection at Banner Farm Road. That's already, right?
That's correct. I mean, I can speak a little bit to that if
Okay.
you'd like to.
Fine.
I think the problem that you're going to run into is in this, they're designed for the dual lefts, which I think most everybody can agree is needed, because sometimes people stack way past Mills River Restaurant, depending on the time of day. You have to have multi-lanes to be able to accommodate that, and I would assume that 2 Banner Farm Road would probably work. I don't know for sure, I'm not a traffic engineer, I mean, they base that on their modeling and their software, but that would seem to be a very logical spot. And you'd have the improved turn radius, you have your trucks that go down to Flavor First, Tri-Histal, et cetera, at that point. And then I think certainly at that point, you could entertain a smaller road section. I think that would be.
But there's already 3 lanes there anyway. Is that,
You're not accomplishing anything.
wait a minute, is that if you're coming from the airport, turning left on 191, I'm talking about having 2 lanes turn like you're going on 191 towards Hendersonville. There's already 3 lanes there. Is that they peel off into 2 lanes. And it's handling the traffic fine.
No. No. It's backing up on 280 all the way to the Davenport Bridge.
Yeah, he means once you get across the intersection.
Is that once you get over here towards the Courtland House, it peels back in. There's 3 lanes. If you're coming from the if you're coming from Ingalls, turning left, like you're coming towards 191,
You need another
is that
turn lane
there's
there.
one, hang on a minute, is that there's 1 turning lane.
Right.
That needs to be in addition of another turning lane. to turn left to go towards Henderson. Now, once you turn through the intersection on the 191, there's already three, maybe 3.5 lanes that runs into 2. That part is fine. Not, I agree with you, Wayne. Like I said before, Gail and I got wadded up coming to the meeting tonight. We was backed up down next to the restaurant. So there needs to be 2 turning lanes turning on the 191.
And what are you gonna do with it?
Well, it's working fine now.
Yeah, they merge in, and a lot of them are peeling off of Banner Farm Road.
Yes.
If they're been a farm, you have no problem.
I don't understand. going
If they're
back
been a
to
farm, it's no
2 lanes or 3 lanes or
So
whatever.
let's just leave it at 4 lanes.
Because that's the
Wait,
only east-west
initially
path
to
to
191, and then at Banner Farm Road, at the line, it's gonna go to 3.
That's fine. No problem with that.
Perfect.
With a multi-use path.
Will you amend that motion one more time?
There's a few things we're going to discuss with the amount of houses gonna go up to Eddie there, that's gonna wanna go to Hendersonville, which is, I think they're looking at that, this is what's gonna increase this volume. This dirt road across here, when it gets paved, it's gonna be from Jeffries Road to there, it's gonna be a highly used road. We've got one major development, and we got a rest home, whatever you wanna call them now, pretty well in the planning stage. So, you are looking at taking care of a little bit, but we're gonna be dumping on this road right here a whole lot more than you're thinking about right now.
So with no bump out at Cooper Lane, is she afraid a lot of traffic's gonna come through the park?
That's right, if we already if we have, a while ago, I said I wanted to see that one as a red light, and I suggested that possibly the town join that road and fill our entrance out here on the main road. That would help both things and help solve this where the tractors go and all that. There's no reason that as a town, we can't help with this situation, and our main interest be off of the dirt road right now.
We tried that and we got each light.
Well, but it's gonna change once they pave that. But we're looking at ways of doing things better, and that's possibly one way us as a town could help. We don't have to come off of 280 and have an access both ways. Why can't we move right over to that? The other, like I said, with all that's come in here, we're looking short term, and I respect what everybody's saying. I'm still highly in favor of 4 lane all the way to the mountain home. I know y'all are not, we've heard from y'all. And I listen, but I think it's wrong. Y'all are not involved in this right now, by the way. I still strongly in favor, let's look past our own self and everything that's gonna be coming in marriage and in
Excuse me just a minute. Members of the public, we're trying to record this, and the more you talk, the less I'm gonna get this. So please be respectful.
I'm gonna amend my motion the 50th time.
One question.
Sure.
Sorry. Mr. Carl, you mentioned that you felt like there needed to be 2 lanes headed towards Banner Farm. Did I
From
understand?
280,
From 280, coming towards Banner Farm, you felt like there needed to be two lanes on that
Well,
right
I
hand
mean, it's
side?
gonna take two
Could you speak
turn
into the
lanes
mic?
coming off of 280.
Mhm.
And where you stop them, I don't think it makes sense to stop them before you get to Banner Farm.
What if, so we have trucks going down Banner Farm, is that, so what if that right
That right
lane
is a turn.
was a right turn only? The furthermost right lane,
Right.
so you've got 2 lanes coming off of 280, you get to Banner Farm and that right-hand lane is a right turn only. And then from there, you've got the freeway. I'm good.
Brian, where are you at on how far that multi-use path comes to? It comes to the town entrance?
To come to the park, because we wanted to connect the park
With
To the path.
to the path.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to
No.
the town limit.
No.
all right. If it pleases the mayor, I will amend my motion the 56th time. Right. is that what my motion is this, Sue, if you can filter through all this, is that I propose a 3-lane with an unobstructed turning lane from Schoolhouse Road to Banner Farm Road. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. From Banner Farm Road to 280. Included in this motion, I will go with a 4-lane unobstructed turn lane.
Unobstructed turning lane.
Right, you okay? Okay. Now, along with that motion is that I will insert Brian's multi-use path, call it whatever you want to call it, from the town hall sign, is that okay? To 280, potentially in the future, connect with the other multi-use path that we done earlier. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, also in that motion, geez, I'm getting where I can't keep up, is that coming from Ingalls, turning left on 191, have a 2-lane left turn. Coming from Brevard, having a 1-lane turning right, like you're going back towards Hendersonville. Is that I would like for you, Sue, in all your wisdom, put that in a resolution to send to DOT and have the mayor sign.
Sue, when you have a minute to catch up, do you want to read that back to us? And
I had most of it, and then you just kept saying it.
he kept talking.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Okay.
A motion for the town to support by resolution, 3 lanes with an unobstructed turn lane from Banner Farm Road to Schoolhouse Road. And 4 lanes with an unobstructed turn lane from Highway 280 to Banner Farm Road. With 2 left turn lanes from Highway 280 to 191, and 1 left turn lane from 191 to 280 coming from Brevard.
No, right turn.
Right turn. See, I'm trying. I'll get it. Jeff will get me with that. And a request for a multi-use path from Town Center Drive to Highway 280